Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Bold and the Beautiful sees Taylor Hayes getting her heart broken next week. It's going to be bad. Her fiance is falling for his ex early next week. And then when the Forresters are all back to LA, that's going to be when Taylor gets the rug pulled out from under her. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. And we're going to get into what Taylor does after Ridge Forrester dumps her and runs back to Brooke Logan. Actually, I think the order of it will be Ridge runs back to Brooke and then dumps Taylor because we know how he does women. He generally doesn't stop to break up with the last one before he moves forward. So, please hit subscribe if you haven't yet, and let's dive in. So, Ridge's big epiphany is coming up. It looks like it's early next week with the big accident in Italy. We've got spoilers on that. Brad Bell said this accident is going to be like something we've never seen before. Then Ridge realizes he's meant to be with Brooke. That means Taylor is getting dumped right as Ridge comes back to California. Once he cuts her loose, the big question is, first of all, is Taylor going to stay in LA or leave to just get away from all this? It would be super uncomfortable for her to stick around to watch Brooke and Ridge living there happily ever after, especially with how many people hope to see Taylor dumped. And then it happens. Once Ridge is back to LA, of course Taylor's going to be ready to start planning their wedding. Ridge has to come and tell Taylor, oh yeah, the only wedding is probably going to be between him and Brooke. But then, what? Let's talk about what's next for Taylor after Ridge breaks the engagement. First things first, in addition to wanting to know if she stays or goes, what could be really fun is a revenge romance, a rebound that Taylor knows would rub Ridge the wrong way. Can you imagine if Taylor ran off with Nick Marone? Ridge was going nuts over Nick talking to Brooke. I think he might have the same reaction with Nick talking to his other soon-to-be ex Taylor. Because if you remember, Brooke is not Nick's only ex-wife. Nick's got history with Taylor too. Nick and Taylor were married, and they even tried to have a child together. She was struggling with some infertility issues. They used a donor, I think it was a donor egg, and it turned out to be Brooke. Taylor found out that the kid was actually Brooke and Nick's. Then she unraveled, started drinking, spiraled, and their marriage was broken. That was back in the Hunter Tylo days. So that was obviously years ago. But Taylor and Nick are both about to get their hearts broken, get dumped. They might turn to each other for comfort, for friendship. Who knows? I mean, it's a long shot, but I think it'd be really cool if Taylor hopped onto Nick's boat and sailed off with him, especially since we know Rebecca Budig's 1-year anniversary on Bold and the Beautiful hits next week. We don't know if she signed a 12-month deal or a 2-year deal. We just don't know. The second scenario to consider if Taylor decides to get out of LA and away from Ridge and Brooke is she may run off to meet up with her kids. Just last week, Steffi Forrester left LA with Kelly Spencer and Hayes Forrester, saying she needed to get her head together after the Luna Nozoemis. Steffi told Finn she needed time away, but of course, this Steffi exit is short-term. It's just to cover for Jackie Wood's maternity leave as she has baby number 5. Then we have Thomas Forrester Matthew Atkinson, who is in Paris right now. So Taylor could run to see one of her kids, or both of her kids. Maybe Steffi is also headed to Paris to see Thomas and Douglas Forrester Henry Joseph Samiri, and Taylor joins them there to try and get through this rough time after Ridge breaks her heart yet again. That way, Taylor can get comfort from her grown kids and her grandkids, Hayes, Kelly, and Douglas. I'm sure Steffi and Thomas will be Team Taylor and furious that their father Ridge is going back to Brooke again. Thomas has never been a fan of Brooke, and Steffi will feel like her dad lied when he promised he wouldn't break Taylor's heart this time, because that's exactly what Ridge is doing. Now, if Taylor decides to stay in LA, something that might be cool is to see her try and punish Ridge for lying and cheating and all of his usual stuff. Taylor might try and sabotage Brooke and Ridge's reunited relationship. I, for one, would love to see Taylor coming for Ridge for just being a big old waffling lying cheater. But at the same time, I think Taylor doing this would be a huge waste of time because Brad Bell said that bridge is forever. So, We know any efforts from Taylor to target Ridge and Brooke or try and break them up aren't going to work. Bell said in a recent interview with Italian magazine Og, "I think is how you pronounce it." He said Bridge is endgame, but Taylor doing Ridge dirty would be fun to see. Another option for Taylor, if she's sticking around, is to enjoy a revenge romance with somebody in LA that Ridge hates. Leaving town with Nick would annoy Ridge, but Nick's not sticking around. Jack Wagner has been gone for weeks. He's back over filming his Hallmark show. But locally, there is one big option for a revenge rebound that would eat Ridge up. Can you imagine if Taylor went over and hooked up with Bill Spencer Don Diamond? Sure, Taylor tried to kill him before, but I don't think Bill's holding a grudge about that anymore. Plus, he likes to live dangerously. The idea of Taylor being in his bed and Ridge being furious would probably make Bill smile. He's never liked the dressmaker. So even if he was faking a romance with Taylor for a little revenge on Ridge, that might be a fun thing for Bill, especially after the way Ridge spoke to Bill after Liam Spencer's Scott Clifton shooting. It was just awful. Ridge had the nerve to tell Bill to leave the hospital without seeing his son. Obviously, Liam was life and death laying there. Bill knew he messed up with Luna. He came into the whole situation very contrite and very apologetic, but Ridge was being a jerk, calling him Billy out of nowhere. It's like the writers have just forgotten things. I've literally never heard Ridge call him that before. It's just craziness. So, Bill might enjoy a bit of revenge on Ridge. And Taylor may be inspired to get closer to Bill. I think that would be a lot of fun. One last option. If she does decide to leave town, Taylor might pack her bags and decide to go away and throw herself into work. She may think that's the best way to forget Ridge and protect her heart. Taylor's gone off to do charity work before, so she could go back to that. Or maybe she heads to an ashram in India for some preventative chakra healing so that broken heart syndrome doesn't get a hold of her again. I do remember that the chakra healing helped Taylor get past Ridge breaking her heart before. It helped her get over Ridge. The big mistake Taylor made was ever getting back under Ridge again. Let's face it, Taylor can do better. Heck, Brooke can do better. I've said it here before. Ridge is no prize. Torsten K. has even said that Ridge is no prize. He doesn't like his character. I don't get the appeal of fighting over a waffling weenie like Ridge. But hey, we'll see what happens. I don't expect Taylor to take it well at all when Ridge ends their engagement and admits he's fallen back in love with Brooke while in Italy, just like Eric Forrester John McCook wanted him to. The ocean breeze whispered through Taylor Hayes' hair as she stood alone on the cliffside outside the Forrester estate. The sun was setting, casting hues of orange and purple across the horizon, a stark contrast to the storm brewing in her heart. Ridge Forrester had once again broken her heart, choosing Brooke Logan over her. Again. And this time, it wasn't a temporary lapse in judgment. This time, he made it clear. Brooke was his destiny. But Taylor Hayes wasn't the same woman she used to be. This rejection, as painful as it was, would not shatter her. The morning after Ridge's declaration, Taylor sat in her office at the clinic, trying to immerse herself in work. Her phone buzzed constantly with messages from Steffi and Thomas, offering support, sympathy, and promises to cut ties with Ridge if that's what she wanted. But Taylor didn't respond. Not yet. She knew they meant well, but this time she needed to figure things out on her own. During a quiet moment, she looked at her reflection in the office mirror. "You're not broken," she whispered to herself. "You're free," because in a way, she was. Free from the cycle. Free from the never-ending triangle. Free from waiting for Ridge to choose her. It was time to make new choices, ones that didn't involve Ridge Forrester. 2 days later, while grabbing coffee near the hospital, Taylor bumped into a face she hadn't seen in years. Dr. James Warwick. "Taylor?" he asked with surprise. She turned just as shocked. "James. My God, how long has it been?" They laughed, hugged, and decided to sit down for coffee. As they caught up, Taylor found herself feeling something she hadn't felt in months: lightness. James, once a rival and confidant, had matured in unexpected ways. He was charming, supportive, and offered an outside perspective she didn't even know she needed. "I heard about what happened with Ridge," James said gently. Taylor sighed. "Everyone has. Well, maybe it's time you stopped waiting around for a man who can't make up his mind. You deserve better, Taylor. You always have." His words hit deep. They were simple, but said with clarity and conviction. Fueled by this newfound sense of purpose, Taylor began to reevaluate not just her love life, but her professional one too. For years, she had put her own aspirations on hold to support her family. But now, with Steffi managing her own drama and Thomas focused on being a better father, Taylor began exploring an opportunity that had once been offered to her, a research and wellness institute in Northern California. It wasn't just about therapy. It was about rebuilding lives, helping trauma victims heal using integrative approaches. A place where she could lead, innovate, and most importantly, start fresh. She took a trip to visit the institute and felt instantly connected. The serene setting, the passion of the staff, and the opportunity to build something meaningful reignited a fire inside her that Ridge never could. That night, standing on the balcony of her temporary guest house, Taylor stared at the stars and whispered, This is what I meant to do." Back in Los Angeles, Ridge attempted to smooth things over. He stopped by her house, apologetic but still full of the same tired lines about always caring and not wanting to hurt her. But this time, Taylor was ready. "Ridge, I'm done," she said firmly. "I love you. I probably always will. But I love myself more. I'm tired of being the fallback option. I'm tired of being stuck in the middle of your indecision. I deserve a love that's chosen, not convenient." Ridge was stunned. "You're leaving?" She nodded. "I'm relocating to Northern California. There's a project that needs me, and I need it." Brooke heard about it days later and surprisingly reached out. They met at Il Giardino, where the conversation was civil, even warm. There was no more fight left between them, just two women who had loved the same man far too long. "I'm glad you're doing this," Brooke said. "We've both been trapped in this cycle. It's time someone breaks free." Taylor smiled, not out of bitterness, but clarity. Exactly. Before her final departure, Taylor had one last visitor, Sheila Carter. "I heard you're leaving town," Sheila said with a sly smile. "That's too bad. You were the only one who ever tried to understand me." Taylor remained calm. "Sheila, whatever connection we had, it was built on a fantasy. You need serious help. I'm not going to be the one to fix you." "I don't need fixing," Sheila growled. Taylor tilted her head. "Then why are you always alone?" Sheila flinched. For once, the predator was disarmed. "Goodbye, Sheila. I hope one day you find peace. But you won't find it here." A month later, Taylor stood in the sunlight, watching as the first patients walked through the doors of the Hayes Integrative Wellness Institute. Her name on the sign meant more than any wedding ring Ridge could have offered. This was her future, built not from heartbreak, but from healing, from purpose. And as she walked into her new office, her phone buzzed. "James again. Dinner tonight?" The message read. She smiled. Why not? Because for the first time in a long time, Taylor Hayes wasn't waiting for love, for validation, or for Ridge Forrester to choose her. She had chosen herself, and that was the boldest and most beautiful move of all. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.